Sharon, this is Keaton Everett with ABC, going over your pitching video from the camp. We're going to go through and talk about a few things and break down your delivery in a couple key spots that we like to look at. We're going to look at how you're setting up, your sort of initial setup, where your weight is, are you staying back, are you balanced. We're going to look at, from that position, what are you doing with your hips as you drive down the hill. The hips are where the power is going to be, and we really want to make sure that those hips are getting involved. And then we're going to look at foot strike. That's the point right when that front foot, that left foot first touches the ground. It's going to show us a lot about where you're at, where your body is. Are you in a nice, powerful position? Are you in a position that looks pretty healthy? And then we're going to look at, how you finish out front, how you rotate that body and deliver the ball, and then you're just going to watch through that release. All right, so we'll go back here and stop it and look at how you're setting up here. All right, so setting up wise, basically the biggest thing is we want to make sure that we're loaded up on that backside. All right, I'm going to mark your head right here. Okay, now we're going to advance this through here a little bit and show you what happens when you pick that front leg up. Alright, so we're going to click through here frame by frame. You can see yourself kind of sink down and back a little bit. Alright, it looks like you're a big tall kid. Alright, so we got the thing that we want to make sure that we're doing is that we're loading up over this backside. Alright, and we're not dropping down. So if we go back to where you're setting up, alright, we want to try to get you shifted back over this back foot a little bit more, and just try to keep this position. You want to feel the sort of that weight on that inside part of your knee. You don't want to feel anything kind of pointing out towards third baseline here or something like that. You want to make sure that your hips, your weight, everything's shifted over that back foot. All right, and that's just going to keep you from kind of tilting back a little bit and then dropping down, because we want to try to stay a little bit taller. We don't get power from this action. All right, I'm not saying that we're straight legged, but we don't get power from our hip or from our quads. If you're flexing that knee down there, you're trying to it almost feels like you're able to kind of jump a little bit, but that's not where you're getting your power. Your power, this isn't a very big area here as compared to your hips up here. So we want to try to get our hips in that position to deliver that ball. And so the more we kind of flex this leg and use more of that quad, we're taking more of the hips out of the way. All right. And one of the things we want to do from this position, all right, so you can see right off the bat, once this leg hits to its very highest point, which is right here, all right, you can see that your body is forward, it's not even over that back leg. So we just want to shift this back a little bit here. All right, so this body's kind of staying, that head, that front shoulder is more sort of back here a little bit. And all that's going to do is that's going to get you in a little bit more powerful position. It's going to get you more consistent. All right, it's just going to help you time your delivery a little bit. The timing of the delivery, we want this thing to start at the same place in the exact same time every time. And all that is your hands break. So we want to see the hands break, we want to see the leg go down, and we want to see the hips go forward all at the same time. All right, we don't want the hips to go forward, the leg go down, then the hands break. That's the timings. We want to make sure that they all break at the same time. All right, so you're doing a pretty good job at breaking the hands before you're going forward too much, but you're kind of lagging a little bit back here. So because you're bending that back knee so much, you're not seeing a whole lot of movement with your hips. Okay, if we go back here, if you're watching that leg's coming down, there's not a whole lot of movement forward. So we just want to think about, at this position, taking this hip and just driving it down the mound and just letting this leg fall. We don't want to let that left leg kind of pop open. You're going to see that you overdo this here a little bit. This is good to keep this leg leg closed, but we don't need to see that we don't want to see this foot leading us down the mountain. We want to see this hip leading farther. So at this point, we almost want to see this leg still kind of just dangling. We want to have, right now you're rotating your hip to cause this leg to kick out. So we want to try to see more neutral angle with your hip and leg. So you're going to see your leg in about this position, and then about right here, now that leg's going to kind of start almost getting straight there, and then it's going to start swinging out. And all that will do is that will store up more power in those hips to get everything rolling. All right. So then you see through here is you have a really long stride, which is good. You're getting that body down, but what you're seeing is this front leg completely locked out. So now that's locked out. We don't ever want to have locked out joints. And then you're just rotating early because you lost some of that hip power. So you're going to watch through here to foot strike. So right when that front foot lands, all right, which looks like it's about right, we'll say right here. All right, you're seeing this front side already turned out. Your arms, your shoulders already coming through the zone, and that ball's already lagging. All right, just because of that early rotation with those hips. In this position, we're going to want to see, you got good elbow height, but we're going to want to see that ball somewhere up around here, and then you want to match that front side up there a little bit more. So we don't want to have that left elbow rotating yet, and the reason we want to have our hand up here is because that means you're getting on top of the ball and you're able to drive the ball downhill. All right, if we're back here in this position, we're not on top of it, we're not creating downward angle. What that's doing is that's stressing that elbow. All right, so and then we'll just look through release real quick, and you can see that we'll call this release. All right, release is going to happen a little bit farther around here for you, but the biggest thing is you see that foot lifting off the ground. We want to try to drive through our backside a lot longer. We want to see this foot kind of drag down the hill and being in about this position, and that'll get you a little bit farther around over that front foot. Your front foot's still going to be right around the same spot. But what that's going to do is drive that body farther around over that front foot. So now your head's, out here over that front foot, and you're gaining probably 8 to 10 inches for you a release point. Now you're releasing that ball out here. All right, so just stay through that back leg a lot longer so you can use those legs. The power's from the waist down. So the more you can use those legs, the better off you're going to be. All right, so we're going to go back real quick and run out of time here to watch what your hands are doing. All right, so again, leg locks out, upper body locks out. All right, we always want to try to have a little bit of angle in our limbs. All right, but the biggest thing I want to show you is to cue in on this back arm. All right, so you can see that you're never going to get that hand up on top of the ball. And this position is really concerning for me for this elbow. Your elbow is completely locked out right here. All right, we don't ever want to see locked joints, especially in that back arm. And you can see that it's still locked. And then you just pull that elbow through the zone. Your elbow is getting extremely stressed at that position. All right, so you got to make sure that you're either, keeping this elbow from getting locked out. All right, just kind of keep a little light bend in it, and then at some point you want to try to move that ball in that glove higher. So at this position, this ball is somewhere right here. You can have a little bit of tilt back, but we want to see that ball up. So just work on getting that ball up above your ear without getting this elbow. We don't want to see that elbow above the shoulder too. So just make sure that you're just getting that ball up on top, and you're getting up on top of the ball and driving it downhill. So hopefully you're able to get a few things from this and work on it. You got long levers, you got good pitcher's body, so it's just a matter of syncing everything up. But most importantly, just work on that arm action. So hopefully you had a great time at camp. Look forward to seeing you at the ABC.